around the world, and Florence Villeminot is with us here. Hi, Flo.
Hi, Jeannie.
Lots of focus here on France, on the former head, soon-to-be former head of the conservative opposition UMP party, Jean-François Copé, who announced that he is stepping down.
That's right. He's all over the French press today. Aujourd'hui en France talks about the fall from grace with a very sad-looking Jean-François Copé on the front page. Now, he was pushed to step down over this Big Malion scandal, this growing scandal over allegations of fraud in the UMP's finances during Nicolas Sarkozy's failed re-election in 2012. Now, Aujourd'hui en France comes back on yesterday. There was a crisis meeting at the UMP, and they go over his violent tumble from the top. He fought to hold on to his job until the very last minute, according to Aujourd'hui en France, but he was forced to resign. He faced an execution squad of heavyweights within the UMP. They turned their back on Copé, basically to save the party. Now, Le Parisien Aujourd'hui en France says it's unlikely the UMP is going to have a going-away party for Jean-François Copé. There's a funny cartoon you can see here with a supporter of the UMP handing around an envelope saying, this is for Jean-François's going-away party. But you can see the three new leaders, well, the soon-to-be new leaders of the UMP saying, we're going to need a receipt for that.
All right. A lot of papers are also focusing on that troika, those three leaders, three former prime ministers who are going to lead the party until Copé officially steps down June 15th.
That's right. Jean-Pierre Raffarin, Alain Juppé, and François Fillon. Now, Le Figaro, the right-leaning paper here in France, is very concerned about what's going on. You can see them there on the front page with Jean-François Copé. The troika is by the UMP's bedside, but it's almost its deathbed. You can tell that there's a lot of concern in Le Figaro, and in its editorial, Le Figaro says the party is facing a serious leadership crisis and really needs to rebuild itself. Everything needs to be redefined from the party's organization to its strategy to its political line. And one thing needs to be very clear, according to Le Figaro, and that is Nicolas Sarkozy's political ambitions. What does he want to do? Does he want to make a comeback? He needs to make it very clear to the party, according to Le Figaro, because what's the use of refounding the party, making a new party, if he's going to be on the sidelines, perhaps making a comeback?
Flo, let's leave France now and move to Pakistan with this truly heartbreaking story of a young Pakistani woman who was stoned to death in Lahore by her family for marrying against their wishes.
That's right. It's getting a lot of attention in the Pakistani press. I pulled out an article from Dawn. You can read all the details. Farzana Iqbal, she was 25 years old. She's pregnant, and she was involved in this honor killing in front of the High Court in Lahore. Basically, her family wanted to register a complaint saying that she'd been kidnapped, but she came to say that no, she had married someone that she loved, and this was just unforgivable for her family. She was attacked by her father, two brothers, her former fiancé. A lot of outrage in the Pakistani press today. The Nation, in its editorial, is really outraged, says that barbaric justice yet again triumphs over the written law. Another case is settled outside the courts. And what's sad about this is that it's a very common thing in Pakistan, according to The Nation. Thousands of women suffer the same fate every year. The basic problem is that of social behaviors and mindsets. Women are not considered human beings entitled to rights or equal treatment. And this editorial calls on her father, who's in custody, to really pay the price for what he did. Precedents matter. It can save lives.
Let's move now to the U.S., where that deadly shooting spree in California and Santa Barbara Friday has sparked a lot of interesting reaction from the press.
That's right. There's still a lot of emotion in the press in the U.S. This is an article in the New York Times today. So Friday, 22-year-old Elliot Rodger killed 6 University of California Santa Barbara students in this rampage, a stabbing followed by shootings. Now, as you can see here, classmates are seeking closure, but there's a lot of emotion. It sparked a lot of debates in the U.S. media, including the debate about gun control. I pulled out a cartoon from the Washington Post by Tom Tolles, and you can see there yet another mass shooting spelled out in bullet holes, and there's a victim on the ground saying, I can't read the writing on the wall.
Now, this massacre has provoked a hashtag that's truly gone viral in the wake of the massacre.
That's right. You might have seen this on social media. It's hashtag Yes all women. Now, why has this gone viral? Well, it was created in the wake of this rampage because Elliot Rodger posted a very anti-women videos online ahead of this massacre. And so this was really the springboard for this movement, which has become something that's much greater. Basically, women and men are sharing very vulnerable sentiments and experiences of sexual assault, domestic abuse, and just everyday misogyny. But as you can read in the Daily Beast, this has become a viral campaign, much more than what it started as. But this has dangers involved because basically a lot of people are wondering, can you really say that misogyny was the root of this massacre? And also, it runs the risk of becoming something trivial if concrete action isn't taken.
All right, thank you so much for that, Florence Villeminot. All right, on a much lighter note, time for sports. We'll kick things off with